Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and this is another StarCraft 2 England cast. Now today guys, I have got a ladder game. It is between Flow Gaming's FGMaSsan, the red Zerg player in the lower left, who's up against LiquidSheth, who is playing as a Terran, the blue Terran in the lower right. Now those of you who know Sheth knows he does not main as Terran. So this should be very interesting indeed to see how it turns out. I'm looking forward to it. Now, I do know from what someone said me about the game that this is indeed an epic, super awesome macro game that is going to go well. And as you can see, they're massively like practicing random or just generally having fun. Well, of course, this is Sheth, who could very well just be generally having fun. And well, we've got some supply depots down. We've got not much else going down. It should be all good. I mean, Sheth, judging by that supply depot positioning, is going to be going for either a command center first build or more likely a 1-Rax command center. He'll drop the barracks there. 1-Rax command center I think is a great build against Zerg because essentially it means that they've got 2 bases, you've got 2 bases, and Zerg players don't like that, which means they either have to come and kill you or they have to try and take a third. But of course this is Tal'Darim, which no longer has the rocks there. Isn't that winning? Look at that. That is just so much of an improvement for this map as Zerg. Seriously, any Zerg players, you can unveto Tal'Darim now because that's there. There could be other issues with it, but that was my biggest one. Anyway, so just taking a look around here, we've got the spawning pool down, and well, this SCV is going to scout the wrong way. But luckily the Overlord's going the wrong way as well, so these two players don't know where each other are. They're talking happily about where you should have your mice and things like that, so who knows what all of that is about. I tend to have just my mouse on the desk. That is what works for me. Sheth is going for a command center first though, so really bold opening, and actually FGMaSsan not going for the standard. The standard of course is the 15 hatch 16 pool, but instead is going pool gas hatch, I think, or the gas and hatch are at a very similar timing, so that is all quite unusual. But it does mean, however, that Sheth actually has the advantage in when his natural base is going to come out, and that is going to really hurt FGMaSsan unless he manages to deal some big damage. Now, Tal'Darim, that's not too bad to do. Yes, we've got the wall off coming here, but the natural base is so exposed. Just look at that area. That is just a huge space to try and defend. It is literally impossible, and at least in the early game. But likewise for Zerg, it can be really awkward, which is where things like Hellions can be quite useful. So I'd be interested to see whether Sheth does go into Hellions afterwards. Getting the 1 gas, should get a 2nd gas as well, because if you go command center first, you do have to get the double gas. It's the usual thing you do, but Sheth apparently not going to be doing the usual thing. But then again, he doesn't play Terran usually, so maybe he will come up with some creative and interesting things to do. Being a Zerg player himself, maybe thinking of some things that could be very frustrating or be very difficult for him to deal with if he was main racing. Anyway, that Zergling is going to come and sit there, realise there is a gap in the wall off, and just start attacking an SCV. The Zergling will win this fight every time, but luckily the SCV runs away to him. Its buddies come along and be like, no guys, now there's now 2 Zerglings though, so that's more fun. We do have a bunker, but FGMaSsan should be able to see that, and the Queen is on its way over. Of course, that is very obvious right there with a Overlord on top of it. So basically now Sheth trying to be sneaky, trying to be like, I'm going to put a bunker in your base. That Queen should focus down the SCV, that should be its target, and it won't actually manage to kill the SCV before the bunker fingers, I don't think. Actually it does, because amazingly we see there that Sheth didn't actually try to run the SCV away rather than just finishing the bunker, so that was a bit of a shame. But there goes down the cancel, so not much loss there. 25 minerals. In terms of the workers though, that is the important thing. 24 to 21 in FGMaSsan's favour. But of course, once you factor in those lovely little things called mules, Sheth should be doing pretty alright in terms of the mineral income. He is now just getting the 2nd gas up. Still only 1 gas there for FGMaSsan. Of course, he's got speed on the waypoint. All of the other drones out of gas. That Overlord is taking quite a bit of fire, but the Marines won't be able to finish it off because those Overlords are just too damn quick right now. And, well, if we take a look, we've got the barracks, we've got the reactor, we've got the factory, so reactor Hellion should be coming down. We've got FGMaSsan here with 3 queens out. That I love. 3 queens are 2 hatcheries early on, means you've got 1 queen which does nothing but spread them creep tumors, and creep is just such a valuable resource that I unfortunately feel far too many Zerg players underestimate, because what does creep give you? It gives you map vision, it gives you map speed, and it makes the Terran very scared about coming onto it, because obviously those Zergling, Banelings, rounds and stuff on tanks and Marines are all the easier to pull off. And now Sheth is taking his third. Oh, Sheth, you beast. That is so good. Because, as you can see, Massan taking his third, so he's not going to be in a position to put on much pressure anytime soon. So Sheth is like, I'm going to expand. And that is exactly what Sheth goes and does. And it does mean that he should be in a good spot in order to really keep the pressure on Massan. And, of course, Sheth here, possibly maybe someone got supply blocked. Because, as you can see, he had to use cooldown supply. Demonstrated by the nice little add-on to the top of that supply depot, but we won't judge Sheth, that's fine. As of course, as Zerg, you can just hold down that V key to build overlords and just be happy about how many overlords you have. Anyway, we've got these Hellions, they're poking and prodding around, they should come down to the third base, see it just finishing up, that is some good timing information. We've got the Baneling Nest, the second evolution chamber, of course the +1 melee attack always on its way. Sheth following up, of course, the Hellions with Banshees, with Cloak as well, so that could do some good damage. There isn't too much dead space, but they should be able to skirt through here and come up into the main without too much hassle, and then just really chill out here, be like third base, main base, third base, main base, third base, main base. And that would be really awkward for Massan, who is getting an awful lot of Zerglings right now, so he's looking like he's going to come and try and put on some pressure, which could be a good move to do. He's got the Baneling Nest there, he's got the Lair morphing in as well, so he's taking up behind it. Just a handful of these Zerglings moving across, but of course the Hellions are making sure work of those. Good control by Sheth there. Massan does not want to engage all of that. Still quite a lot of Zerglings sitting there at the moment. Where are the Banshees? Where is the Banshee? There's one, there we go. I said Banshees, there's only one of them. A second one is in production though, so that will help. Cloak, of course, 3/4 done at the moment. The creep spread, joining up the bases exactly as it should be. We now have, I do believe, 4 queens. Is it 4 or 3? Yep, 4 queens. So still 1 queen purely there for spreading creep. Spore Crawl is coming down though. I don't know if anything was scouted. Did Massan actually scout anything then? No. So I'm not quite sure how he knows the Banshee's out, but building a Spore Crawler perhaps proactively to prevent any damage being done. He's also got a Spore Crawler at his natural, and is now building one in his main, getting down that Spire as well. The Banshee on its way across with quite a few Hellions now, and well, in terms of defense, this could be quite difficult to pull off because there's only Zerglings there at the moment. No Banelings morphed. A couple of Banelings will make it really easy to defend against the Hellions, but the Hellion count getting a lot higher now. We've got Terran vehicle weapons +1 on its way, as well as another factory coming in. So this is a mech style out of Sheth compared to infantry, and of course everything can be seen by Massan because of the creep spread. I'm linking back to that creep spread so frequently, I know, but I just love it, and you all should be doing it. Roach One coming down as well as Spire. The Roach One, a good choice that is needed, especially if the tank count is low and there's lots of Thors and Hellions. Roaches are the best way to go against that. Now, the Spire, of course, good because those Mutalisks can come and poke and prod in, but there comes down double missile turrets. At the third, there's no missile turrets, and at the natural, there's no missile turrets. So the main base won't get harassed, but that natural could potentially take quite a bit of fire. Now, as you can see, the second Banshee is there. Scan goes off for Sheth. He's like, creep spread? No. I know how good creep spread is. I am not letting you have any of it. But unfortunately, that creep tumor is somehow going to survive. Oh no, it does actually get taken down at the last second, so that was a good win. That pushed the creep all the way back in. New creep tumors will have to be laid down. And, well, this queen is doing a good job of spreading the creep. We've got 3 Banelings there. The third base looks to be the target of Sheth at the moment. And, well, how much damage can he do? We'll wait and see. There's not too much stuff there, I must say. There's 6 Mutalisks on the way as well, which will just wreck this army because there's nothing that can attack air units there. That makes things very difficult indeed. 2 missile turrets coming down at the natural. At the third base, there's still no missile turrets. Build missile turrets! So important. Anyway, we do have down the hatchery at the 4th base position. This is probably going to get harassed the hell out of. And until those mutants pop, which is literally right about now, there's not much that Massan can do about it. Sheth won't probably get a kill on the hatchery, though, just Hellions, because you just won't be able to do enough. Those Banshees taking good amounts of damage though, because of course the Overseer is there to see right through that cloak, and the Banshees didn't really pay for themselves at all. They've got, well, 3 kills and 1 kill on them. That is not enough in my opinion. And I said Sheth won't get a kill, but he forces a cancel on a hatchery using nothing but Hellions. That is pretty good going. And, well, of course, the Zerglings are here. They're lining up, though. They need to be careful. Those Hellions are in a good spot. The Mutalisks are nowhere to be seen. Lots of Roaches on the way across, though. Massan getting up quite a sizable force. 3 Thors in production at a time. And, well, this is the end of the Hellions. The Hellions cannot escape from that many Roaches. If they do, it'd be an absolute miracle, but they're probably just going to get sandwiched, and just like that, they are all gone. All the Mutants just sitting around here. Massan needs to use his units more effectively, in my opinion. At the moment, he seems to be playing a very much one position game where I'm looking at my fourth, I'm defending my fourth, and then forgetting about the Mutalist. The Mutalist could be prodding and poking. I mean, these add-ons are probably exposed. The two factories definitely are. However, the Mutants are going to get shut down so hard by the Thors. There's just no other way to say that, but there's a lot of roaches in right now. Drop tech is about to be done. No. Yep, there we go. Any second. Here we go. 3, 2, there. Bang. We're going to see a drop into the main base. There's nothing there to defend it. Oh my god, this could be so good. Here we go, loading up all of them roaches. The roaches are loading, but there's not enough overlords now. That could be a problem. A couple more overlords on their way across. We have a missile tower being built there at the moment. And essentially, Massan is just going to go straight into that main base. How much damage can he do? We'll wait and see. A pretty wall off here by Sheth, who's just like, I'm going to get all the supply depots in a line, and then no zergling run-bys will ruin my day. Anyway, here come down all of these overlords. The missile turret is there though. That is going to be irritating. Should get focused down. Instant reactions out of Sheth though. Look at how quickly he came to deal with that. But of course those overlords just dropping on the tanks, preventing their siege mode from raining down death and decay on those lovely roaches. But for the moment, this is just a great push coming in. The Banshees are not going to be able to do too much because the Overseer is there. The Overlord's coming back, trying to pick up the rest of the roaches, which I've decided, no, we're going to go and join the fight from another direction. And for the moment, Chef seems to have cleaned this up okay. There's a factory which is on fire that will eventually die. But where are all of those reinforcements? Well, here comes wave 2 of this push. And with only 3 Thors there, if they do focus down, it should be absolutely fine. One Thor is about to fall. There it goes, but another Thor pops to replace it. And, well, those roaches, as long as they focus fire, should be fine. 3 siege tanks come out. They need to get focused down quickly. That is exactly what Massan is doing. And Chef really could be in some trouble right now. There is an SCV repairing that somewhere, or there was at least. The add-ons being taken down. That's going to prevent the production of things like Thors and tanks, which is going to be very, very helpful. The roaches should now get cleaned up, and more roaches streaming in from behind, getting a complete surround, which would be really nice. That bunker is trying to get focused. More roaches coming in from literally every direction at the moment. The Thor is getting repaired super quickly though by just so many SCVs. In terms of this push, it looks like it's pretty much under control now by Chef. He is still having to deal with an awful lot of stuff. That bunker is slowly getting killed, and Chef has not gotten an SCV to it quite yet. This third base looks like it's going to be the target of the third round of this push. The bunker gets repaired up very, very effectively now. And a 4th base on its way out. A 5th command center already morphing into a planetary fortress there for Chef. So he's doing a great job. And quite a lot of SCVs getting killed here by Massan, who's already killed 26 workers. That is a great spot to be in. Massan has secured his 4th base behind all of this, of course, and is really getting out quite a few more Cropters, but just really focusing on an awful lot of roaches right now, as well as a 5th base just started, spreading away from his opponent, which is exactly what he should be doing. Meanwhile, one Corruptor boldly coming across the map, not quite sure what that's planning on doing. Hive is on its way out, the infestation, but it's done, but no pathogen glands. Would love to see that pathogen glands upgrade, as well as neural parasite, because against mech, neural parasite can be really, really good, as in really, really, really good if you mind control one of those Thors. Now, is this 4th base going to get spotted? I think the answer is no. No, is that yes? Still maybe, that one roach is going to come up there and be like, guys, shit, there's a base here, and you're going to have to go back and go and kill it. But unfortunately, all the roaches have already run back, and now they're going to go all the way back over, but of course, that roach has already just started doing some damage. Chef deciding command centers are good, and building lots and lots and lots of them. Has he been taking lessons from Empire Cass? Perhaps he has. Of course, Cass likes building them command centers as well. But, well, there's a lot of Banshees here. And, of course, the roaches have no way to deal with them. And even that one Corruptor there has no way to see it. But a cancel force on the 4th base there for Chef. That's going to be irritating. And, of course, the 5th base now up and running for Massan. So he's in a comfortable spot. His Hive has just finished. Needs to start that Greater Spire. Or, indeed, if not the Greater Spire, he needs to get out those lovely, lovely Ultralisks. In terms of upgrades, he's at 2-2. Now getting +2 melee attack as well. So really upgrading absolutely everything. A lot of Overlords moving across here, just spreading creep, preventing any kind of base from going down at the moment. And, well, we've got a big push across. Sheth at 200 of 200. That is the scary point of mech, when your opponent gets all of his units that he could possibly need out. Unfortunately, the scary point for Sheth is he suddenly realised, damn, there's Corruptors out and my Banshees can't attack them. Nothing I have can attack them. There's also roaches in my natural, and this is not fun at all. The bunker gets taken down very, very quickly. So many SCVs getting killed right now. Massan is in an okay spot, but Chef is just moving forward with those blue flame Hellions. absolutely trouncing everything. Meanwhile, back at the natural base, those tanks, they are doing pretty nicely. The roaches are still pushing forward, but siege tanks do so much damage to roaches. One gets picked off, and in terms of resources lost, it's pretty even actually. A lot more even than I thought it may have been. But in terms of workers killed, 61-3, that could get changed very quickly though, as these blue flame Hellions literally go to town on the mineral line. The greatest spire nearly finished. Of course, the hive will be spotted. Nothing at the main, but still workers getting killed everywhere. This fourth base is really quite packed with workers. So is the fifth, and the fifth doesn't even have any static defense in the form of spine crawlers or anything like that. Now, for the moment, Sheth clinging on quite nicely. However, Massan is really trying to struggle to deal with these Hellions, finally cleaning them up with an awful lot of roaches. But still, Massan has got so many more units. He's also getting some Broodlords into this mix now. That's going to negate the effectiveness of the mass tank army Sheth is building up, because once you start getting Broodlings, those tanks, they start shelling said Broodlings, and then damage starts being done to your own units, and that's never what you want, of course, even if you can repair them up again. These roaches managing to clean up the Hellions very, very comfortably. They are, of course, now a 2-2, plus 3 Zerg melee attack on its way down. All of these overlords are spreading creep everywhere. It might perhaps better if they spread out. Sheth trying to retake his fourth base. He has got a second planetary fortress and a fifth main building, basically sitting outside his natural, just trying to help deal with the onslaught of a lot of roaches. But of course, the Broodlords are now on their way, and the Broodlords are going to make this very, very difficult. But for the moment, Banshees are coming in, but there are 3 Corruptors there. The Cloak does go down, and there is an Overseer there ready. That is just such a win right there for Massan. Meanwhile, Sheth, he must know something's coming. He's got this fourth base is about to go down. Basically, there's no way he's going to be able to defend that. All of the Banshees are cleaned up, bar one, which has just gone and hidden. Massan now trying to take his 6th base. And I must say, Massan is looking to be in a pretty good spot right now. In terms of the work count, 51. Wow, 51-71 in Sheth's favour? What is going on there, Massan? Did you forget to rebuild? You did. You did indeed forget to rebuild any workers. That is something that you really need to put right quite quickly. Otherwise, you are going to have problems. Now, we do have here the 5th base on its way down. That Banshee's still going absolutely to town. 2 spine crawlers getting built. Some roaches out, but of course the roaches will be supported by those reinforcements, allowing everything to get picked off right here, right now. And of course, the Banshee is just the only thing being a bit of a pain at the moment. But still, just look at all of these drones. They're all lined up. Oh my god, the drone, Sheth! Oh my god, Sheth, if you just had like ninja reactions there, you could have killed an ungodly amount of those drones. And now, for a big win for Sheth right here is he's found some Broodlords that are completely undefended. And these Vikings are just like, Broodlord, I'm just going to kill them, because there's nothing you can do about it. May actually get another kill. We'll have to run away now though, because there's a lot of Corruptors. Sheth, you need to pay attention right now. Yes, you've just killed all of the Broodlords bar 2, but there's a lot of Corruptors up there. But move across the map and deal the damage. That is what you could be doing. Of course, you need to deal with the 2 remaining Broodlords, which you now can't, unfortunately, because you just have 1 Thor and no Marines, and the Viking count is only at 3. But still, this game goes on, and it is getting so ridiculously crazy. I'm loving it. It is absolutely brilliant. Now, this is all coming down to positioning now. This is sort of really late game where essentially both players are like, I want to kill you, but I need a better attack angle. And really, both players are just trying to get the better positioning. Now, Sheth doing a great job of splitting up his units, trying to just go to different bases. For the moment though, quite a few roaches are around. They'll pick off those tanks easily. Looking here, of course, the 3rd base for Massan has now been taken out, but he does have 3 more. Sheth, on the other hand, is long-range mining currently, because he has no way to deal with just 1 overlord generating creep. That must be so annoying for him right now. But, of course, these overlords still generating creep pretty much everywhere, so that is just pretty great for him right now. Those Vikings getting cleaned up incredibly easily. The Broodlords now have free reign over the rest of this army, and that is a lot of Broodlords right there. These tanks are going to get taken out incredibly quickly. Of course, the Broodlings also not only deal damage, they also mess up an AI's ability to move units anyway at all, because the Broodlords are just like Broodlings everywhere. Anyway, these tanks, they're like, if we're going to die, we're going to die killing stuff. And that's precisely what they're doing. The Broodlords are trying to basically get their way across right now. These drones, long-range mining, for some reason, not quite sure what they're doing there. Were they running away from something? It would appear not, but we do have some Hellions down here, so perhaps that is where those drones are running away from. For the moment though, we've got more units coming across the map. By units I mean workers, and Chef may have got a bit confused there himself, had to lift up that orbital command just in order to prevent any more damage being done. He has taken a 5th base, I will call this, down behind his natural, expanding closer to his opponent, which is always a bold move. Hellions are pretty much everywhere though. One spine crawler picking off a Hellion, another spine crawler killing a Hellion. Hellions are not very strong against spine crawlers, and look at all those drones, look how close they are. Oh, this could be bad. Those Hellions now in a position that the spine crawlers can't reach, which basically means they can just sit there dealing damage. The roaches will have to come back to deal with that. Meanwhile, that is a lot of Vikings. My goodness, that is a lot of Vikings, and Sheth is using said lot of Vikings to kill anything that can attack Vikings, which pretty much is the Corruptors. They are absolutely going to town. Corruption's going down on absolutely everything. This is a pretty epic air battle. Whoever comes out on top here is going to be good, but look at those reinforcements coming in, and Sheth should come out just so well with the Thors there as well. Just look at how quickly those Broodlords are going to melt. Huge damage being done here, and Sheth in one really good move could actually be coming back into this game, because there is just no way that Massan is going to be able to afford to rebuild that many Broodlords. The Broodlords suiciding because there's nothing else they can do. Massan, yes indeed, sad face is what you should be feeling right now, because that is a lot of Vikings, Chef. Chef, you left one. Don't worry. Go, just pick it off. There we go. That really was bad, sad times. Now, of course, the tanks are now free to go to absolute town on these roaches until they are focused. The Vikings, unfortunately, now all the air support has gone, are now really quite useless. The way Massan is dealing with this is brilliant. He's getting down an Ultralisk cavern somewhere. There we go. That Ultralisk cavern is basically a tech switch. It's very effective because a large majority of Sheth's army, I mean 19 Vikings, are there purely to deal with Corruptors and Broodlords. It will be very difficult for Massan to defend that. So really, Massan switching to Ultras, great move indeed. If I was Sheth, I would get those Vikings, and to be honest, I would send a handful of them, about 5 of each, to each base, and land them just to start dealing some damage. The Roach is just stalking the Vikings though to make sure they don't do exactly that. Meanwhile, another command center being built by Sheth. The supply count for both these players, well, Sheth's ahead by quite a bit, but Massan catching up quickly. And well, these Vikings are still just going to town on Overlords and everything. And actually, it seems that Massan doesn't have enough Overlords in terms of to actually keep his supply up. He's getting very near. One more Overlord goes down. He will be supply blocked. There is 3 more just being built though. 2 more also in production. Great news of landing those Vikings just in order to start picking stuff off. The Queen, of course, there. The Spore Crawler is going to try and deny anything. These Overlords are all running away now to the corners of the map because that many Vikings are just going to completely destroy any type of Overlord, and of course that will be a pain for Massan. This tank line, very good though. Look at that spread, absolutely beautiful. Meanwhile, that Ultralisk cavern has finished. No Ultralisk armor upgrade done yet. No Ultras either, just 1 in production, and that is because essentially Massan is basically starved of money. He is still behind in terms of the worker count. If we think about how many mules potentially there are there at the moment for Chef, he should be really quite a dominant spot in terms of the income. So he's got quite a lot more mineral income, a bit less gas. That doesn't matter too much. Meanwhile, all the Vikings have landed at the natural base and are just absolutely going to town on pretty much nothing. Of course, these Vikings just don't seem to ever do enough damage. They do just lift up though. As soon as anything's there, some Overlords getting killed, because why not? In terms of the loss tab, Massan is coming out worse here by about 6,000 resources, so this is all pretty fun. This game is really quite hectic, and I think Sheth should have it now, unless Massan does something really good, because the problem is Sheth has just built up a real death ball army right there. Perhaps slightly too heavy in Hellions would be my only criticism. Some Infestors are on their way out. The Fungal Growth will really wreck those Hellions and could potentially be the nail in the coffin for Chef. But this game is still by all means very close. Quite a few Hellions getting picked off here. The Ultralisks have now been given away. The Vikings landed and they're just, well, coming around here to start killing stuff. Fungal Growth goes down on all the Vikings, and now a bit of a quiz. If a Viking is Fungal Growthed, can it land / take off? I generally don't know. One would assume it wouldn't be able to, but I just don't know. Someone needs to find that out for me and leave in a comment section below. Alternatively, I may just find it out to cure my own inability to really leave a question unanswered. Anyway, Chef, he is in just such a good spot that only a 2-2. He really should get those 3-3 upgrades. There's nothing stopping him at all. Just pick those two, Sheth. Just go for it. It'll be brilliant. Meanwhile, the Vikings still just going to town on pretty much everything. That one lone Viking will die. No adrenal glands either, Massan. Massan, get your adrenal glands. I know you're building a second spawning pool, so you can only upgrade it once, unfortunately. If you could upgrade it twice, Zerglings would just be ridiculously good. Meanwhile, 10 Banelings morphing in now. They will do a very, very quick work of this many Hellions, because of course Hellions are like Banelings, do bonus damage to Hellions. Burrow, unfortunately, not researched. So sad face and not seeing any Burrow Banelings. That would have literally made this game possibly my top 10, into the top 10 of my favourite games ever, because I love Burrow Banelings. Burrow Banelings are brilliant. They're like better than Father Christmas or the Easter Bunny or the Playboy Bunnies. Literally, Banelings are brilliant. I love Banelings, especially Burrow Banelings. Anyway, some Hellions did manage to get into the main base here, but they were met by quite a few roaches. And Hellions do not like roaches at all. They are extremely allergic to them. Meanwhile, some Zerglings even making short work of Hellions now. And of course, the Banelings are going to come in. They start detonating. The Ultralists are slowly raising the number. Massan, like a complete legend, is getting that adrenal glands upgrade. These Hellions are actually managing to kill so much stuff right now. It is actually pretty crazy. And that does put Sheth quite far ahead in terms of the work count. Sheth is trying to expand, but unfortunately every expansion is covered with creep right now, and Sheth has nothing to attack say Overlords with. More Hellions are streaming across the map, and of course Sheth, you may think he's being really cost ineffective. He's like, why is Sheth just sacrificing all of these Hellions? Because he has 2,500 minerals and no way to spend it other than just suiciding Hellions, which isn't the worst thing in the world, to be honest. It'd be good if he was trying to kill some more workers, which it does look like he's going towards. This is the two bases I'd really be headed for, because there's just so many workers up there. And for the moment, yes, the Hellions are doing an okay job. Obviously with Blue Flame, Zerglings do not engage well. We do have Burrow coming up. Please let there be Burrow Banelings. If literally, it would just be brilliant to have Burrow Banelings. Sheth, meanwhile, just happily defending his nothing. Really? Sheth is just happily sitting there defending very little. A Zergling run by is going to come and deal with all of these mules, though, which are giving Sheth a stupid amount of minerals. Like, literally, it's just insane. Meanwhile, the Hellions getting cleaned up by the Infestors. If we look at the workers killed, Sheth is really caught up. Both players lost a stupid amount of workers through this game. They both have really not expanded as well as they could have done. Especially Massan, he's been expanding well, but not replacing the drones that he is losing. And that could come and hurt him, because Sheth, he is moving across this map right now, and he is absolutely shredding through those roaches, like absolutely insanely. Baning speed also being upgraded. We do have adrenal glands done, I do believe, so that is good times. Meanwhile, we've got Sheth just moving this army forward, going for the expansions that are still mining, trying to cut off any kind of income from his opponent, and just look at these siege tanks sieging up. They are going to be good times. Of course, the Infestors getting absolutely shredded. That is a big loss for Massan, because that is just so many resources, and that was absolutely huge right there. That was some big hits, and Sheth, well, Sheth is looking like he's going to be in an absolutely crazy spot. We do, however, have Ultralist drops. You very rarely see Ultralist drops, but when you do, they are super effective. We have lots of other drops coming down just on top of all of this sieged up army. Massan using his units effectively, but there's just too many units out right now for Sheth. He is able to deal with this very, very well. The siege tanks shredding the roaches to pieces, but eventually Massan has just too much stuff on the field, and well, this is kind of quite mutually destructive. Both players losing a lot of stuff as we speak, and well, the Ultra doing good damage, does have the Ultralist armor upgrade finished now, of course, and now we should see a counter attack at some point, but Sheth still happy just mining off of pretty much nothing. There's one Burrow Baneling there being incredibly irritating, and a mass cooldown of mules. A grand total of 10 mules have been cooled down all at once. That is just going to be sick. If we just literally, if we just watch the income tab, look at when they come back. Like, he's going to be at like 2,500. It's going to be absolutely crazy. But unfortunately, Zerglings are coming over, and those Zerglings are going to destroy everything. And that's sad times. Those pure mules, all they wanted to do was help, and they were like, no. They got shut down by those horrible, horrible Zerglings. Anyway, Hellions. Horrible, horrible Hellions are coming in to meet the even more horrible Ultralist, which pretty much will kill an infinite amount of Hellions if they just sit still and attack it. But that doesn't matter, because Sheth has loads of money. Apart from gas, neither player have hardly any gas. They really need some gas geysers. I think they're both literally mining off 2 gas geysers. Sheth's mining off some more. I don't know where though. Wow. One still has some gas remaining in it, but it's only got 1 harvester in it. That is something that needs fixing, Sheth. But for the moment, both players are pretty equal on the worker count. This game may never end, but slowly they will both run out of units. That was a massive attack from all of those tanks, just dealing so much damage to those roaches. I almost feel bad for the Zerg player right there. But Sheth is now just looping back and is going to defend. He's built some more command centers, because command centers are good. He just really needs to pick off these overlords. They are the bane of his life. If he just killed them, if he just sent 1 Thor to kill them, just 1 Marine, does he even have a barracks anymore? I don't know if he does. He does. Just build 1 Marine, and it would all be okay. But Sheth moving all of his units up here could be a bit of a mistake, because obviously it's just giving a massive target symbol to Massan. But if those tanks spread out nicely, he may have a bit more of a chance. And of course, that Overlord is taking big damage. The command center is able to land because Sheth just needs that so badly, moving all of his SCVs over. Literally everything on its way. And well, here comes some drops. An ultra drop is going to be coming down. We've got the roaches coming down absolutely everywhere right now. And well, if I start hiding those health bars just so we can see the manic on screen right now, I think this is going to come out better for Massan. I think if Sheth loses his entire army, which I suspect he may, it could be a good game, but both players losing a similar amount of stuff right now. Sheth just cooling down everything behind this. Will pick up that Overlord with an Ultralisk in it. And Sheth, I believe... Actually, I think both players came off terribly there, to be honest. A lot of Overlords, though, are getting killed by literally just a... Well, Thor and quite a few Vikings. A counter push coming in. So many drones are going to die. That base is empty. Don't go there, Sheth. There's nothing there. Good work. You spread them out. And of course, just 1 spine crawler, those Hellions are going to do so much damage. It's going to be absolutely traumatizing for the Zerg. And look, the Hellions are in there, but they're not actually doing anything. Hellions attack. Good Hellions. That is so much better, but unfortunately didn't do as much damage as perhaps they would have liked to have done. The Banelings do connect. They get a couple of kills right now. In terms of the worker count, 40 workers apiece. Where is everything else dying? I'm not quite sure. But for the moment, the creepers nearly receded. The mules going absolutely to town. The income is better for Sheth. We've got missile turrets coming in. Meanwhile, we've got long range mining to your opponent's 3rd base here from Sheth. But of course, the creep tumors are there. And creep give vision. And just as I was saying at the start of the map, creep is awesome. So spread the creep, guys. Because you never know when your opponent will long distance mine your 3rd base at 45 minutes into the game. And you would have no clue unless you had that creep tumor. And that is really the last one to say about that point in this game. Meanwhile, these Hellions there are going to get cleaned up pretty nicely. They do manage to slip their way away. Sheth has expanded right next to his opponent, which Massan has absolutely no clue about. Sheth able to do a lot more. He needs to start thinking about taking gas geysers though, because he is so gas starved. There we go, good Sheth. Get those gas geysers down literally as I say them. This is perfect, right? So basically, this is really getting to the point where the map is going to be mined out. I mean, Massan is not dealing too well in terms of getting income because his worker count is at 39. He's not replacing any workers that he loses. Meanwhile, though, Sheth is doing okay. He's moving all these SCBs up and around everywhere, running away from the Zerglings, which were preventing the long-range mining, and this game is just so crazy. But still, we've kind of got into a bit of a stalemate situation now where neither player wants to engage because they're both so short on funds. Sheth does have an awful lot of minerals though. He's also able to build some Thors. Meanwhile, we've got some Broodlords morphing, and there are 3 on the field with another one on the way. That'll take us to 4. So it looks like another tech switch from Massan. This orbital command now doing nothing. I don't know where all the mules are. Just mining up this space. Why didn't you use the mules up here? There we go, Sheth. That's a better place to put the mules. Meanwhile, there's still a burrowed Zergling. That is just so irritating. One burrowed Zergling can literally ruin your day. Hellions, they're moving across, so the roaches are there. Oh my god, roaches everywhere! Run away, Broodlords! Literally, the Hellions are just in their idea of hell. There's just like everything that completely annihilates me is here. They are trying to run away. That one Hellion bravely going. The Broodling does stop, but then a drone kills the Hellion. When was the last time you saw a drone kill a Hellion? Anyway, this game is mad. It looks like it could be coming to a resolution though, because both players are heading towards each other. Sheth has more stuff. He has about 50 more supply of army as we speak, but he does also have nearly 10 more, or 9 more supply of workers. This is mad. This is insane. Sheth has got more resources as well, so he will be able to recover this better. The Viking count is so low. Actually, it's a 10. Wow. The Viking count not so low though, and obviously those 10 Vikings will beat the 5 Corruptors, and the Brooders are going to get taken down. The Thors, the tanks, the Hellions, they're moving across the map. This is very likely to be it, the deciding part of the game, and Sheth is rope stomping his way through it all. A farm's growth goes down, but it was just not enough. The Corruptors even getting killed, and Massan GG's well plays in an epic game. Literally, you can go and tell people that it really was that big, and they should believe you, because that was a big long game. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy, number 1, please subscribe. I get new top level games up every single day of the week. Number 2, like the video, because that would just be really helpful to me. Number 3, leave a cool comment about the games, the players, my casting, if you like said webcam, and if you'd like it on the main game screen as well. And obviously the most important thing, if you want some more StarCraft, flick over to my channel, which should be up in the top that way, and basically you will be able to find hundreds and hundreds of casts I have done previously. And if you've watched each and every one of them, I will see you tomorrow when I'll get yet another new game up. So thanks for watching guys. I will catch you again soon. Bye for now.